to another episode of Inside Eastern Utah. I'm your host, Scotty Draper, and we are here today to talk about some exciting things that are happening in local schools. First, we're going to talk about what is happening in Pinnacle with something called Project Hope. And Zena Robinson is with us today. She is the project leader. So thank you for joining us today, Zena. Can you introduce who you brought along with you?
Sure. This is Yeraldi Bustillos. She's a junior in the program. She's early graduating, and she's also the president of our newly developed HOSA chapter. And Abigail Acosta, better known as Abe, he's a senior, and he is also a member of the program.
And this program is new this year, but is very exciting. Can you tell those that don't know a bit about the program, what it entails?
The program was developed as a result of a grant written by Roberta Hardy, our principal. It is a Talent Ready grant, and it's a collaborative project involving Castleview Hospital, USU Eastern, Workforce Services, and our school to offer an opportunity to students interested in healthcare. And they are in any healthcare occupation.
Yes.
And so they are afforded concurrent enrollment, 3 6-week internships, and an exposure to various healthcare occupations.
That is so unique. It really takes it out of the classroom and puts it into perspective, I'm sure. Can you tell us what Project Hope stands for, what HOPE stands for, as well as HOSA? So when we're saying this, people know.
Oh, okay. The HOPE is for health, opportunity, practice, and education. And so that's the project. HOSA is a national organization for health, occupation, Students of America, and it's a national group, and it's for secondary and post-secondary students.
And so juniors and seniors, right?
It can be younger.
Oh, really?
But but we've just, since we've just implemented it in our school, and it's the first one in our county, Carbon and Emery County, in fact, we've just involved the juniors and seniors.
Great. And as a junior, you're actually the president this year.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about how the years went so far?
I think it's been awesome. It's been such a great opportunity, and I've gotten to explore a lot of different health departments and stuff, and I think it's opened up my eyes to what I actually want to be when I'm older. I've changed throughout the whole year. I've changed what I wanted to be a couple times.
Well, it's kind of nice because it gives you a little insight to a lot of different things without committing too far into one, instead of going to 4 years and being like, oh, maybe I don't like this field.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
So what are some of the departments or internships that you got throughout the year?
So my first 6-week rotation was at the urgent care, the new one. And so I got to follow one of the nurses around, and that was fun. And then my next one was at the outpatient surgery.
Oh, okay.
And that one was amazing. I loved it. I got to see so many different surgeries and interact with like the surgeons.
So you were actually in on surgeries?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yeah. I got to talk to the anesthesiologist, like the scrub techs and everything, and they've taught me so many things. And right now, this past week, I started at the nursing home. So.
Oh, so it kind of gives you a taste of so many different, because there's so many fields when you go into medical. What about you, Abe? What are some of the ones
I've experienced, my first rotation was in physical therapy, down in med-surg and at the wellness center with all the physical therapists. I've got to meet them all and help patients out. And it's like, again, a great opportunity because it makes you don't have to be committed fully like to the whole school and stuff to it, but once you get there, you get experience what you would experience normally if you were to go to school and everything for it, and it just opened up really good eyes. And in my second rotation, I went to Dr. Pretz's office, general surgeon, and I got to experience how it works, kind of the clinicals around there. And then right now I'm in the ER, which is very exciting and new.
Oh yeah, that's probably a fast-paced change, huh? And you're the vice president this year.
Yes.
Can you speak about the local chapter a bit and about, I think there's a little over 20 kids involved, right?
Yeah, so it's, of course, new, and most of us are just trying to get the hang of things and how things work and stuff, but it's really interesting because HOSA is actually like a student-organized based thing. It's mainly the students are organizing it and things, and there's conferences we've attended. There's also like competition we've attended as far as that goes.
Oh, so you've got to travel a bit for it as well.
Yes, they went to the fall conference in August,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just recently returned they had the spring conference in March where the competitions are. And it's similar to FBLA or FCCLA
Okay.
where they compete with other students from around the state. But it's surprisingly a huge organization. And they have scholarships available, and it really can enhance their whole health care, experience.
And this is the first program of its nature kind of in this area, right? Because
Yes.
none of the other schools have really taken part yet, but you guys hope to continue it, is that right?
Yes, that's our hope. It was a one-year grant.
Mm-hmm.
And we started in August, and we started with 24 students. We continue to have 22 students now, which is the success rate has been phenomenal. These students are currently in the CNA class. They've had 2 other intro to phlebotomy, intro to medical assistant. They've had a pretty vast and increasingly active experience in addition to their regular high school experience. So it's been a huge commitment on their part.
So are these concurrent enrollment classes at the university? Is that how it works? Okay.
Yes. And so our hope is that it would be funded again so that we could actually prove the success of the program. 1 year's really not
Yeah,
enough
that's
time.
tough. You're still kind
Yeah.
of learning the ropes after just 1 year.
Yes. But I think, even with that in mind, they've been so successful, and the students have been really committed, and it's been on their backs that it's, that the program has been so successful. We've, their internships, the classes, they've just done an extremely good job.
And I think it's great, the community involvement from the different health organizations,
Yes.
the university, all that stuff has really been instrumental in helping make this a reality as well.
And I do want to add that there have been the hospital is the #1 employer in our county, and so they are been so welcoming and so good with the students, and provided additional education about professionalism and HIPAA and all those things, but also other healthcare like local veterinarians. A local dentist and the care center, they've all been open to the idea of letting these students experience, even though they weren't initially partners.
Of course.
But now they are. So you're right, that community commitment has just been really incredible. And I'm very grateful for it.
Of course, and I think, the hospital and these other businesses, they certainly want local workforce. I mean, everyone wants people to stay here. They want their kids to stay here and be able to find jobs. And so I think the hospital has really focused on that lately about having workforce that is dedicated to the area stay here instead of just trying to bring in outside workforce. So in this past year, can you both share something, maybe the most valuable thing, the funnest thing, your best memory from the year?
I think the most valuable thing I've learned is at the nursing home is how you have to take really good care of them, and how much love they need, and just they're alone, and we're really the only family they have. And I think it's really meaningful to be able to spend time with them and get close to them, and
Yes.
I've loved that a lot.
Yes, it's not just the knowledge of the
Yeah.
health care, it kind of goes a lot deeper than that.
Yeah. It's not just how you take care of them, but your emotional support and everything.
It really plays
Yeah.
into it. What about you, Abe?
I have to add on with Aldi. It's definitely when people are at their I guess hardest times and they're experiencing some things that really just are hard for them to take in and stuff. But you're seeing all that and you're there to help them out, and you're just pretty much making their day better, because even a smile or hey makes their day better, and
Yes.
it's just helping them out.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing people usually during a tough time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Zena, you were formerly the vice principal at Pinnacle. You retired about a year ago, and they didn't let you stay away for long. They got you back in, and now you lead this. What's your takeaway from the year?
It has just been an entirely rewarding experience for me, because and I'm just helping the students, but just the commitment by our community partners, our school, in the investment of
Yes.
these students. And I've totally enjoyed just the experience of being with them, and they've been a joy to help, and their willingness to just try new things. You know, they really do. It's been fun too, because I think a lot of community members or people who don't work with high school students are sometimes intimidated by, you know, the population. They worry, you know, I don't know about high school students.
Yeah, these two look a little sketchy.
Yeah,
I don't know, so can't blame you too much. No, they're good kids.
Right, but I think it's been really good for them and the students to see how, you know, how other professions accept them, and you know, it's just been a very rewarding experience. I can't put my finger on any one thing, 'cause
Yes.
the whole thing has been really good.
And so, for this to continue in the future, is there anything as a community that would help for this grant to be secured again? I mean, obviously the continued support from these businesses, the hospital, the university, and the like, but obviously there's been a great interest from within the school as well, which helps, I'm sure.
I guess one of the things for it to continue would be just the open-mindedness of and educating the younger students. We are actually planning to recruit from younger classes. You know, starting. Our hope is that we can expand the program to the 9th grade next year, and that way they are starting to. Because these students knew going in, the students that I'm working with, they knew that they wanted to go into some sort of healthcare.
Yes.
You know, and like she says, they've changed. Now that they've had that experience, he wanted to be a physical therapist, and after trying it, decided, I'm not really sure I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know? But I think starting younger and just educating the students, what do you want to do? How can you be of help and service?
Sometimes it's hard to know what you want to do
Right.
until you're actually in the situation. I mean, you could think you want to do physical therapy all you want, but then after you go to school for how many years and get into it, maybe you don't know. So that you can't really compare that hands-on experience.
No, and I think so allowing more students to have that experience and having more speakers come and, you know, local community members come and talk to the students and say, this is what is involved in this profession if if you're interested. And I think we all intrinsically have that desire to help others. We just don't know how that can work. So teaching them younger, exposing them to more, and having the older students mentor the younger students. I just think that can continue, and I'm hopeful that that's what will happen.
That's fantastic. It sounds like a very successful first year, and we certainly appreciate you guys coming on to spend a few minutes with us. If you want to know more, the April 4th edition of the newspaper is actually going to have some information on your guys' recent trip to the Capitol and all that has been happening in the past few months, so be sure to check that out. And we thank you guys so much for taking a few minutes to speak with us, and congratulations on a successful year.
Thank you, Scotty.
Yeah,
We
thank you.
really appreciate you having us.
Of course. And stay tuned. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. We're going to touch bases with Principal Bruce Bean of Carbon High and find out what's happening in his neck of the woods. Stay tuned.